Hello there, welcome to another World of Warships Legends video with Ungainly Titan. We're on the Clemson, Tier 3, and we're on the neighbours map. Although I can never really tell one from the next. I think it's part of my problem, I suppose. But I'm not really getting a handle on this game just yet. I think it'll take a bit more time. Now I know it took me a long time to get used to World of Tanks once I started looking into it, but there's aspects of this game that I'm struggling to master. Like I've been watching a lot of my videos that I record, and I've been watching one of them today, actually earlier on, of Battleship videos. I think it's the first time in the Wyoming. I've had a terrible time in the Wyoming. I mean, successive games where I just get wiped out. And wiped out without doing a lot of damage in return. I seem to be really struggling. It's not so much that I hit, but I just don't seem to do a lot of damage. And what I really find, a couple of things that I think I'm doing wrong on battleships. One of them is that battleships are facing me, or at least angling their armour, that I probably should be using high explosives. But I don't seem to have any idea how to get citadel hits, whereas the enemy seem to have no trouble getting citadel hits on me. So I think it's something I'm going to have to specifically pay attention to, that when I get a citadel hit, I'm going to have to replay that, maybe put it into the video editor and replay it in slow motion. I'm not going to get a video viewer that'll play it in slow motion. Let's check that out. But to actually see exactly where my targeting reticle is lined up onto the ship, to land a citadel hit on that particular type of ship, or whether it's a destroyer or cruisers and battleships. Destroyers are a separate problem. I mean, you just knock enough ammunition into destroyers and they'll generally go away. The problem is hitting the little feckers in the first place. But the battleships and destroyers, I can hit them, but I just don't seem to be landing the citadel hits. And I think sometimes I'm not using the appropriate type of ammunition. That maybe I should be using, say, more high explosive against the lightlier armoured tanks, or maybe against battleships, like I said, that are about tanking me. I'm not too sure whether it's going to have to try it out and see if it works. One of the problems we have, you see, in this is there's a lot of stuff, a lot of tools that would enable you to learn the game that just aren't available. You don't have an armour viewer. You can't go into port and see what the armour in your battleship is. At least not on this one. I suppose you could go to the World of Tanks stuff, or the World of Warships ports, but then you'd have to have the ships, or you'd have to suppose, don't know, can you look at ships you don't own? Don't know. I'm not really familiar with my way around the port on that either. And I played a bit of it over the weekend, and I'm terrible. Way worse than I am at this game, which is interesting enough in its own right. I suppose part of that, I don't suppose how much of it is the role muscle memory plays. What I seem to have a lot of trouble with is the key bindings on and positioning my fingers on the keyboard, just keeping track of where I am on the keyboard without having to watch my keyboard. And that is just something I've never... But I played PC games many, many moons ago, and then when I restarted games, kind of playing games fairly seriously again, it was about 10 or 11 years ago. And I was really only started on the Xbox. I actually was playing more on the Xbox than I was on the PC. And I started in with World of Tanks, and I got really into World of Tanks, and I decided to, as best I could, to master World of Tanks. And I think this is helping me here with World of Warship Legends, because it's a controller-based game, and I'm kind of used to playing controller-based games at this stage. So I'm doing better in World of Warships Legends. I'm doing much better than I would be in PC, but I think I'm also probably doing a bit better than I would have been in a similar number of games in World of Tanks. I have no idea how many games I've played. I must go back and check and see if they've added anything to, or anybody has added anything to assist people on those lines. But definitely this game could do with an accessible wiki, armor model viewers, and a few more things like that, just to help the player base get a bit better at playing the game. Help players that are interested get a bit better at playing the game. I also think, I probably should pay more attention to the Reddit rather than the Facebook. Facebook is handy because I kind of check it on a regular basis anyway for other reasons, nothing to do with just people that I know post on Facebook. So I kind of like keep track of their posts. So I check it regularly enough because of that. Because if you don't check it regularly, the stuff just vanishes into the news feed and it can never again be found or recovered. But I find it's not a very good forum for keeping track of information. And most of the posts that I've seen are not really relevant. I mean, people posting memes. There's the odd person posting videos. But you're blinking, you miss them, like, and you just see the odd one, and the responses are usually not any kind of sensible comments or commentary. Just people posting GIFs and photographs and stuff. Typical kind of Facebook nonsense, really. But that's a bit of my rant for the day over. And I haven't said much about the battle at all. Well, there isn't much to the battle really, except I found a few. Well, one of them I did it myself. Like one of those Phoenixes wandered into my torpedo, and I managed to finish it off. And another Phoenix managed to get Allied battleships to almost wipe it out. This guy's been tossing maximum spread torpedoes at me for quite a while, which makes what comes next a little bit on the funny side, because I normally don't bother at this kind of range trying to throw torpedoes in the way of a destroyer, but I reckon he is trying to get away from me. He's trying to get towards his allies, or he's towards his ally who is over somewhere around. Well, he's not in this corner of the map, so he has to go across from the screen, say from left to right. I'm not sure what direction that is in terms of cardinal points. He was south of me, so he's actually going from east to west. Yes. So I just launched a spread of torpedoes on the grounds that he's going to be passing that patch of water, and I hit him. I think it was just the last one on the spread before the way. So the torpedo launching whatever algorithm underestimated his speed, or else he was going slower at the time that I aimed, and maybe he put on an engine boost or something. But we got him, and I was very surprised, I must say. And that's his spread coming back for me again, widespread. Yeah, I don't know if widespread works that well. I mean, it's okay if you're firing with a kind of clusters of ships or into smoke screens and things like that. I think it's probably a useful enough thing to do. But in firing at long ranges, it's just there's too much of a gap between the torpedoes and it's too easy to avoid them. Whereas when they're all coming at you together, there's no getting away from them. So there's one more enemy remaining, and he is flipping our cap, and if we let him get away with it, we're going to lose the game, despite the fact that we're ahead by a substantial margin. Although, that said, and this is one of the things that annoys me about the game here, it's 1,000 points maximum to reach the end of the game. We have 8/9 of the enemy fleet destroyed, and we're only at 483 points. Now, I know the PC version is 12 ships, so that's an extra 3 ships. Potentially. Well, I suppose the enemy are not at 0 either. Maybe this would happen now and again, I don't know. But it just seems with 5 minutes to go, we're a long way from what you call it, a points victory. And in that case, if we're going to be so far away from a points victory, why are they even bothering with points? You know, it's one of these ones. I think there's a little bit of thinking need to be done on some of this area. Like, anyhow, final result. We won. Yay. Total damage. Not bad, I guess. I don't know. I'm not too sure. We destroyed 3 enemy ships. It's kind of hard to judge because I'm not sure what exactly constitutes good or bad damage per tier at this particular point in time. We come number 2 by experience. Our own Mutsuki got a substantial number of victory points. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and a share. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now. Thank you for watching.